I am a union woman, just as brave as I can be. I do not like the bosses, and the bosses don't like me. Oh, join the CIO, come join the CIO. The bosses ride big horses while we walk in the mud. Their banner is the $sign while ours is striped with blood. Oh, join the CIO. Oh, join the CIO.
Hello and welcome to Your Free Voice with me, your host, Julia Norton. This podcast is for people who use their voice professionally or for fun, and they want to understand how it works a bit better, or to get over old stories that might be holding them back. Whatever level you're playing at right now, my goal is to bring you lots of actionable stuff from the technical to the creative to the deeply woo to help you free your voice. Hello and welcome to episode 59. I've been wanting to record this episode for a while, but because it's kind of so massive and so dear to my heart, I keep putting off. But I cannot put it off a moment longer. The song I was singing at the beginning is actually one that I learned in my late teens. When I was in college and effectively doing an English degree, I managed to pivot my final paper into women's expression through folk music and spent a lot of time at a place called Cecil Sharp House and researching old folk tunes, why and where and all that kind of thing, and became a super fan of Aunt Molly Jackson, who was a Kentucky coal miner's wife from turn of the century, the previous century, and she was massive in the labor unions there, and she used song as a way to mobilize. So it feels like it's kind of all coming back around again for me. The first kind of proper taste of community singing, outside of the church environment that I'd been raised in, was through attending workshops by people like Frankie Armstrong, Helen Chadwick, Ida Kellerova, all these people. But Frankie Armstrong in particular really invigorated me and woke me up to the protest song. At the time, in my late teens, we were resisting apartheid in South Africa. And so a lot of the songs that were taught at that time came from that lineage. But people's desire to stand up and protest using their voices has been going on since the beginning of time, right? There is something about unifying with your voice in a way that kind of seems to beat out everything else. And especially if we're looking at peaceful protesting, the protest song, if you like, is just the best vehicle there is. It was used to great effect, like I said, in the South African apartheid resistance and in the civil rights movement here in the US. Labor movements, like I said, with Aunt Molly Jackson supporting the coal miners. Of course, the anti-war songs of the 60s. More recently, again, when the Iron Curtain fell and the Berlin Wall came down. There's something about singing with a crowd of people that not only gives you hope, which actually is massive. It's massive. It gives you hope. It's an irresistible wall of sound when you get, particularly over 100 people singing together. So one of the beautiful things about it is when you're teaching, creating, writing protest songs, they need to be things that can be sung and taught by ear, easily remembered. Maybe call and response is a great, effective way to mobilize people and to create energy and a bit of urgency in the crowd as well. There are definitely the ones when I think about some protest songs from the kind of folk revival era and the 60s and stuff like that, where they have a more of a ballad vibe, and that's absolutely great, and they totally count because we need that too. We need the beauty of the lyric and all that. But I think when you're on the streets, simplicity, bouncing back, nice solid harmonies, something that you can add a drum to, or bells, or cymbals or anything, whistles, whatever you can add to it. Simplicity is key. There's a reason that jingles took off at the advent of television being introduced into our homes, right? Because the advertisers knew that those catchy, simple little phrases would wiggle into our brains and be retained in a way that somebody just saying something wouldn't. So one for me is about Our White's Lemonade from my childhood. Our White's lemonade was this guy, I'm a secret lemonade drinker. So that one stuck in my head. So when we have these little earworms, they keep the message going. And I will say to you that in the last couple of weeks, as I've been collaborating to organize a singing resistance group where I live, my dreams are filled with songs, other people's songs I'm writing, and I wake up with songs running through my head. So that message is going through my brain all night long. It's ticking away in my unconscious. So it's super important. What we've been noticing in the last couple of months is the massive singing resistance protest movement that has emerged out of Minnesota. And it's so moving to see. If I'm sure by this point most of everybody has seen some of that on social media or on the news. Hundreds and hundreds of people standing and singing and sharing their grief in the ice and snow, sharing support in the frigid temperatures, and singing and showing up singing, because not only does it unify the community, neighbors get to know each other and know that they're standing up for each other, they are sharing the message for people who can't come outside because they don't feel safe. They are sharing the message to ICE agents that we are here and we're not going away, and actually we see your humanity and why don't you join us, right? It's all very deep and amazing and so powerful. So when you want to peaceful protest, when you want to protest something peacefully, and you want to feel like your voice is being heard, like literally making your voice heard, is a very, very satisfying way to go about it. So what I'm going to talk about a little bit is how to care for your physical voice in protest. So if you've been following me at all for any period of time, you'll know that I take vocal health quite seriously. And I've released previous episodes all about how to take care of your voice, how to warm up and cool down and prevent injury and all that kind of thing. Go back and listen to those. I'll put a link to them in the show notes if you haven't listened to how to warm up and cool down yet. I have a free 5-minute warm up as well, which is very useful. In this moment, however, I'm just going to say that for your regular person on the street, which are the majority of current protesters are people that have never protested before. They are out supporting their neighbours and their communities and might not know how to take care of their voices. So please share this episode with any of your friends who are out there protesting, maybe for the first time. Thing number 1, up your hydration levels. When you have juicy, hydrated vocal cords, they are going to withstand the pressures of extended voice use much better than dehydrated cords. Depending on the environment that you're in, like snow or heat or whatever, you're going to want to adjust that. If you can, say if you're out in the ice and snow, having a singing mask or a scarf over your face will warm the air slightly when you're singing, so that can be really helpful too. But before you go out and start singing your head off, warm up just a little bit. So it can be as simple as, some head rolls, some cat chewing gum, like this, some kind of stick your tongue out all the way and do the days of the week. And then that kind of thing to get your tongue released. And then some lip trills or bubbles like this. Just somewhere in the middle of your range, just roller coasters up and down. And then I would recommend everybody get some kind of straw, whether it's a cocktail stirrer straw or the tube from a Bic Biro pen or a smoothie straw, anything, so that you can create a little pressure on the folds. So again, I'll link to a straw episode so that you can watch how to do that properly. But if you have a small straw that you can keep in your pocket while you're protesting, and every now and then take a little break and do a few glides on the straw to reset the folds and save your voice, and then get back to singing again, your voice will last a lot longer. Because you can't be out singing in the cold for hours every day and expect to not lose your voice, right? It's just, it's overuse. It's a lot of use, especially at volume. And when we're emotional, our muscles start to clench and tighten, and as we're kind of holding on to sobs or, things like that. So is this really real? Okay, so I want you all to have strong voices so that you can stand up for yourself and your neighbours should you choose to do that. And if you're not out protesting, this is all just good advice generally if you're using your voice a lot. The other thing to do is to obviously try and keep all your vitamins up, everything, the vitamin C, the zinc, all those kinds of things. I will link to my cold season tips to keep yourself healthy as well in this episode. It's going to be packed full of all the things that you need. And at the end of the day, do a few little descending glides from the biggest part of your, the highest part of your range where you were singing that day, descending down. So if I was out there singing this song by Joshua Blaine, no one is getting left behind this time. And no, it's kind of as high as I was going. I'd be doing with the straw, right? Just to get down back into my speaking voice. Now, if you don't have a straw or you forgot your straw, you left it at home, you don't want to carry a straw, just use the backs of your thumbs as if you were like blowing a blade of grass through your thumbs. I'm demonstrating, you can't see, but I have it on my website. Blow through your thumbs like that. Right? And that will reset the folds right there. So my cheeks are puffy, the sound is coming through and the closer you push your thumbs together, the more pressure you're going to put back on the folds. So that's a great way. And I learned all of this from my fabulous voice coach, Mindy Pack, just to give her props. The vocal health from a fabulous laryngologist in LA called Reena Gupta, Dr. Reena Gupta. So what I'm telling you is this stuff is real. It will extend your voice use because you're looking after it. Watch out for your posture too. Like, try not to be tipping your head all the way. That was me tipping my head up. I'm tipping my head back, and you can hear the strain it puts on my larynx. So you imagine singing, even with your head just tipped up a little bit, it creates more stress around the voice box, right, around your larynx. So try and keep your head kind of level if you can. I know, there's a lot of things to think about. Really, we're just trying to save democracy, but also save your voice. Okay, so there is like I said, there is so much to talk about when it comes to protest songs. Ooh, but I think this episode really is a practical one. Join in with a group of people that you feel safe with. There's safety in numbers. The more people that are on the streets singing together, the better it is for all of us. And if you want to join this group, like I said, that was set up by these wonderful folks in Minneapolis and Minnesota, just Google Singing Resistance near me, right? And you see if you find a group in your local area and join that. I will put a link to the main thing again in this as well. And if you happen to be in the Bay Area and in Marin County in particular, you can join the group that I'm co-organizing. And that would be really fun. We'd love to see you. Peaceful protest, use your voice. They've been doing it for centuries. This is not some new thing. Let's change the world, right? Like, really. And a song that I've been singing and teaching for 30 years from the anti-apartheid movement goes, oh, freedom, oh, freedom, oh, freedom, freedom is coming. Oh, yes, I know. Oh, yes, I know. Oh, yes, I know. Freedom is coming. Oh, yes, I know. So I'll leave you with that. Okay. See you next week. Grab those links in the show notes and share this with your friends. Keep your voices safe. Keep you safe. And see you next time. Bye.